Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com here today to demonstrate and to, most importantly, teach how to play basic percussion. Now, a basic knowledge of rhythm would help, but you don't have to have it. Rhythm you can learn if you're a white person and you know how to line dance. That's fine. You will develop rhythm as need be. If you have any source of music in the house to play different things along with, that will be great. That's all you need. You don't need drum machines and all the stuff that I will be using today. Play along with the radio, your iPod, whatever. With any instrument, it will be everything from these little egg shakers to, as the shirt says, more cowbell. We'll even do, let's see here. We'll do even a desk bell, drive people nuts at the front desk at a hotel. So it don't matter whether it's rain sticks or triangles or tambourines, whatever, the same thing will apply to every single form of percussion. Okay, your basic egg shakers, these little guys. They will come in plastic or wood or whatever. Different thicknesses of plastic will give you different tones. And then the filler inside has a generic term just called beads. Okay. Beads can be anything. They can be iron filings, they can actually be beads, they can be BBs, they can be white rice, but don't cook it. Okay? They can be sands through the hourglass, like the days of our lives. If you don't know that one, you're way too young, or I'm way too old. Anyway, so there are right ways and wrong ways to play these things. People are like, Scott, come on, quit lying to these people. There's no wrong way to play music. You can always experiment, but it might be avant-garde, but it's never wrong. No, there actually are wrong ways of doing things. I've proven this many times by putting people with an electric guitar in a bathtub and then tossing their amplifier in with them. That is the wrong way to play guitar. So there are wrong ways, and there are right ways. Okay, let's go with the basic egg shakers. You will see a lot of videos here, like I said, here on YouTube, of people playing these egg shakers. Okay, that's just your basic what I call a stroke roll, and that's what a drummer will call it. It's called your train beat. Okay, and they will do, yes, you got to go in a circle for some reason to make the rattlesnake sound, and you'll have it in your hand. Close it. It's softer. Open it up. Put your thumb there. Grab it so you don't lose it. As you open and close your hand, 1 and 2, you get the accent. I will show you how to do this instead of just doing this. I will put music on and we'll play to it. And you'll see the ever fascinating, which is cool, which is why you want to learn percussion, hopefully, is this one. I'm taking 2 of the exact same thing. Again, don't go out and buy those packages that have 10 different ones in it. It's a total waste of money. Just get 2 that are identical, that are kind of like medium, like these are. You don't need one that's soft or loud, because why? If that is too loud, close your hand around it. It's not as loud. So you don't need a white one for soft and a yellow one for a little bit louder, and then heck with that. And then you have 2. You can get 2 for like $1.99. Put them together, it doubles everything. So you're twice as loud as you were before. Okay? And if you actually mute, like I was doing before with 1 egg, muting it like this. Okay? And you open it. So you have loud and softer things. If you do it with 2 of them, check this out. Here's the one that everybody oohs and ahs about. 2 of these, to really drive it home, is to cup your hands like this. So they are totally closed off in here. Now the timbre will change, which is the tone, and the volume will change, all by doing what? Opening your hands. You keep your hands squished on top of them both, and you just fold your hands around each other. That's where people freak out. It is this. Look. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now you'll hear as I'm opening and closing my hands. So you have total control over the timbre or the tone or how loud they are. If you open it up just a little bit, it's a little louder and it's kind of hollowy sounding. You can move one finger, 2 fingers, and it sounds different than that. Or open it just a little on the back side towards you or towards the camera. It's different each way you arrange things. Okay, where this comes from is when you're trying to get, now we're not going to play harmonica today, I have videos for that, but that just came from doing this. You've seen everybody on Andy Griffith do that. Okay, that's just vibrato. That's opening and closing around your harmonica, the same as I was just doing with the shaker eggs. So it's the exact same principle. So that's where a lot of this comes from. You are actually muting them, you're changing the sounds, changing the pitch, changing the volume, all via okay. If you don't want to sit there and hear them knocking together, hold them tighter. If you want just one, do one. Whatever. It makes sense, huh? It's softer. And then there's, you can just, for recording tracks, just let them roll around in there. Okay, now let's learn how to do these and we'll move on to other little instruments. Okay, so if we have this drum beat going on, you have an egg like this. Okay, you can play along to it. It's a heavy rock beat. Okay, the best way to hold them, 2 fingers on one side, have the small skinny part pointing away from you or towards you, it doesn't matter. Just hold it whatever, however sounds good to you actually. If you want to hold it sideways, you can. It honestly makes no difference, but each way will sound different. Try it all ways. That's what the fat bottom girl poking out towards you. Okay, and now the main thing to remember is to use, I know, put your own joke here, use your wrist, not your arm. That comes later when we do the cowbell. if you do it the Will Ferrell way. Okay, when you shake it forward, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. When you get the ands, like there's a whole count, which is 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and which are your 16th notes. This is actually, the shaker is playing 16th notes. I'm only concentrating on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going up and out. So I'm starting down, up, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You get all the backlash of the beads. They automatically will count the rest of the thing for you. So you got 1 and 2 and 3E and 4E, and so all those naturally happen on the recoil, if you will, when it's coming back. You're just going 1, coming down, up, 2, 3, 4. All the other sounds happen naturally. You just got to keep that steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you keep it up here. 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a whole different thing. You can do it right there. 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Now up there you would actually count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and until you just naturally get the ability that your muscles will do it. You never have to think about counting again. So with the drums, if I was to do the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? Again, just check it out. This is all just staying right up here by you. Okay, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and if you're taking it from here, 1, and 2, and, or you go 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to do it, as long as you're doing it in rhythm, of course. Same thing with this. Okay, I'm going to do it with 1 egg right now, along with the same drum track, and then I'll show you a little bit slower things. The same thing, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Open it up on the 2 and the 4. Okay, keep it closed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you're keeping pressure on it, not enough to break the egg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you're opening it on 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you get that train beat, okay? If you grab 2 of them, twice as nice. You hear more of the whoosh, kind of a swish, because you have more mass right here, and you're more volume because you have 2 shakers. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 to hear above this loud track. Now if I double time it, you'll notice that was 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay. There goes 1. We have 1 left. Okay, so work with those. I will find my egg. There it is. Just nice, easy ways to get percussion, and you'll want to mic these things. Okay, so just listen. Of course, if you're recording, you have to mic them. Right now I'm trying to use the camera mic closer so that the drum tracks are in the background. And you'll find different sweet spots on the microphone where it will mic up differently. Since I have a microphone right here, let's take a listen to that. Okay, so you'll decide, I'll get rid of some of that reverb on there, and you can decide whether it's better sounding for you to get it right on the mic, above it, to the side of it. So if it's the same microphone that you're singing into, which it more than likely will be, you can decide if while you're singing, if it works by opening up the back of your hands towards the microphone, or if it's okay to do it underneath it and then open up the top of your hands so that it gets towards the microphone, or if you just want to go back here. Okay, so microphones, and so that's always, you know, in a recording or a band situation, everything will need to be mic'd. And if you're familiar with recording, percussion, these kind of things are best done with your condenser microphones, you know, the ones that are phantom powered or require batteries in them. They just pick up that real little. And sometimes that's all you want in a song, which is a beautiful thing. Let's say like, let's see what we got here. Okay, let's take that. Here's called a slosh. Nothing is actually cracking into the side of this egg. All the little beads are actually just sloshing around in there, kind of like a carton of milk. Just kind of move it around and just kind of, that's what the beads are doing here. Okay, and you will want to put in accents. If you don't, and you just want a nice little steady thing, that's when you'll see people holding things such as this. Slower for the slosh, and you'll get kind of a aroma looking thing. For the nice sloshing effect of a ballad. And then, but you're always going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So the ones I'm counting on are when I'm throwing it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Everything else, the sound happens because it's bouncing back, because I'm bringing it back in order to go out for my next number. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're getting 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 2, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E. So it just naturally happens. A beautiful thing. Egg shakers, there they are. Okay, and you can bounce them, do this stuff, do the whatever you want to do, juggle. Okay, by the same token, we're going to go to Will Ferrell here. Okay, the infamous cowbell. Okay, now here's my typical 4.5-inch bell here. Okay, these are available in all different sizes, mainly 4.5. You got your 5.5, and generally 7-inch will be your bigger ones. A lot of these will have plastic mounted to them, riveted right into the top of them, a place for you to actually hit a drumstick if it is mounted via that clamp right there. So this hole right here, where you can see it right through my neck, is to be mounted on a stand on a drum kit. Then you tighten that up, blah blah blah. If you don't want that, just undo it, take it off, and play cowbell. But yes, it's more than hitting a cowbell with a stick. There are little sticks that are meant for these, which are, okay, I'm going to call this a regular drumstick, but I don't believe in wood products too much, so I don't even use wood drumsticks. Why? They break. And then you get people who are playing wood drumsticks, and then they have a nylon tip on them, you'll always see. And that's where they always use them, is on that nylon tip. So what I did, I just have nylon drumsticks. They're not going to break. And it's still going to have that same sound. So wouldn't you much rather have sticks that aren't going to break or whittle up or leave piles of sawdust on the ground? Okay, now you will find sticks for these that are made, like I said, just for them, that will have little ridges in them, so it looks like little ridges. So you can kind of go across here and go brrr, brrr, brrr. You'll never need it. If you're playing a cowbell, you can be doing it like this, boy. Just a... Okay, which it's nice to use the butt end of the stick, not the side with the tip on it. That will give you a whole different sound, and yes, you can and should use it in different situations. Let's get back to a good rock and roll beat and speed it up. What's a good speed? About 120 beats a minute. It's your good dance beat. So what more are you going to do with it than that? Probably not a whole lot. Okay, these things are ungodly loud. You can shut them up. Okay, when you are playing them out front as a percussionist, remember, this is the mouth. Okay, just like me. I am the mouth. So that's the mouth of the bell. That's where the sound emits from. When you have it hooked up to a drum kit, it's usually facing the drummer. So you just hear the back of it, as far as what the crowd does. They hear some of it through the mics that are miking the rest of the cymbals and so forth, but it's generally the drummer who's feeling the full effect of that mouth. But when you get to like this guy, as it shows here, just lets it fly. Okay, again, hit it with the butt, and if you hit it on the rim, as I'm doing there, it will have one sound, and different places along the bell will sound different. Okay? If you're holding it in your hand like this, which you should, don't try to hold it way back here like this. Sounds like you're trying to call somebody to dinner. I mean, it has its places, you know. Come get it! So under no other circumstances should you ever be sticking your stick inside of your bell in the mouth and going. That's only for chuck wagon effects. So again, to play the cowbell properly, grab it like this, put your hand, grab it like that. Just lay your hand out, put it in there, stick one finger out. If you have that finger, some people don't have that finger. Find a finger that you have. Generally it's your index finger. Put it in your non-dominant hand. If you're right-handed, the cowbell goes in your left. It's like if you're right-handed and you play guitar, the part where all the skill is, all this stuff, is done with your left hand. Go figure. Okay, but you have generally more rhythm in your right hand. I don't know why. Okay, so the thing is, again, hit it with the butt end of the stick on the corner by the mouth. If you have your finger against the metal, it shuts up pretty quick. That's your damper finger. It dampens the sound. If you let that finger off, okay, you get a lot more open sound. So you just have to decide which of the two sounds is what you're looking for, in conjunction with where you play it on the bell. If you don't want to play it on the mouth, and don't forget there's a side too. Yeah, lowrider. With it open, that's just the good old Blue Oyster Cult type of sound. Mute it. Get it away from the microphone because these are plenty loud without a mic. Or if you're like Bruce Dickinson or anybody from that whole Saturday Night Live sketch, yes, then you want to run around and, you know, have fun with it. Everybody's always going to associate this with this. So again, just learn how to mute. You'll learn to play the sides. And how to play other parts of the bell, and to finally use the tip. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Hefty, hefty, hefty. Okay, so, but sometimes you want the wimpy thing on a song that is just not as loud. Almost sounds, you can almost get like a, if you mute the whole thing way up here. Almost more of a wood block. Okay, you hear a lot of people using wood blocks. Most wood blocks these days are made out of plastic. Go figure. So our stick is, so you get that sound. It's nylon. A lot of the cowbells now are made out of plastic. Seriously. So that's what the tip. Again, everything the same. It just doesn't have the volume when you're playing with the tip. Wide open. Again, it's the only time for that. But the sides, don't forget, they do have musical value. Kind of weird sounding. Move your hand. The more you move your hand towards the back of it, the more that will happen, and the more fingers you might have to put here. I don't even want to say what this looks like. Especially with that big black thing going in between those two white things. Okay, so there's your introduction to the cowbell. The other funny one, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but it just works out funny because I play these every time I go to a hotel. So you're on the road, you check into a lot of hotels, you check in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody's asleep, so you have to bang these. I will leave that out of here too. We all know this thing. I'm not telling you to play this at a gig, but play it for fun when you are somewhere. Again, using the same things. If it's laying on the counter, I will show you. Let me move my smattering of junk here, and I will set up a checkout desk, or a check-in desk. Right here. Okay, so here's our bell. Let's get in nice and close to our bell. Okay, I think we have achieved maximum belldom here. Okay, so this is laying on the desk. This here so it says Jackson. Okay, just Fender owned now. Okay, so you have your cowbell, or your bellhop bell, I'm sorry. Okay, again, to shut it up, you just thumb and finger. No, I'm not kidding. That will just either piss somebody off or they'll laugh. So just hitting it. So just let off whenever you want it to ring. Or put your finger on there to shut it up. Your thumb can be right back here, riding it for semi-ringing, or off, or back on to kind of shut it up, or to totally shut it up with your other finger. So I'm using my thumb to not quite make it quiet. Still got a little bit of bell. I could shut it up, but I'm giving it a little. And then when I actually let that open, so watch my thumb, not that it matters really, but this is just an extra bonus. You can see my thumb moving to mute it also. I can do it with my thumb all together. Not really a percussion instrument, but yes it is. You could throw that in anywhere. You could find some Pink Floyd tunes, I'm sure, to toss that right in there with. Okay, now let's go to one other thing that makes no difference, but it helps me fill up that last minute of this half hour or so that I promised you. we're actually at the end. Rain sticks. If you have them, kind of turn them slowly. As you're turning them, let the beads fall slowly. That's natural in there. Okay. Some people it's amazing how people don't understand these things. Let them fall naturally. Again, you can control the sound of them by where you mute it at. Kids, no. That does not sound like rain. That does not sound like rain. Getting halfway there and going... You might find a use for it, but you look... Duh. Okay, again, rain sticks. Twist them as you let the stuff naturally fall between the inner caverns that are going through this stick. They are just finding their way through a maze of skeletal innards in here. That's why sometimes they get stuck if you don't turn it. So you have to slowly I turn. Okay, so turn the rain sticks and do it slow till it sounds like rain. It's not here to make it rain, it's here to make it sound like it's raining. Okay, so once again, I am Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy, of GroovyMusicLessons.com, mainly here for the shaker egg. Don't forget, rattlesnake sounds. Nice to put the small end down. Just shake it in a circle. And as you come closer to the microphone, it will give you that proximity effect and the Doppler effect as you're going away. The Doppler effect is that sound of the ambulance, usually in Britain. The pitch really doesn't change, it's just it going away from you. There's your snake. That. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Use your wrist, not your arm. Okay, and up. Okay, do it sideways. Let it slosh. Put fingers on them to mute it. Hear how different that sounds. Fingers on the back side. Or you can hit them like hit the walls. Bang that thing. But if you open it up with no muting, it sounds like this. Mute it. Put it in your fist. You don't have to buy a new one now because you have fingers to mute it with. So it's soft. It's a little bit louder. That costs you another 10 bucks. Now it's a lot louder. That costs you $10 more. Now you take the other free one that came with it when they were all $1.99 to begin with. Put them both going. There's your loud one and your extra loud one if you put the pointy parts towards the camera. And major percussion when used too. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the tips. And again, it's a half hour out of your life. Big whoop. Okay? So, sit there and go play with yourself. It's just the best way to do it. Grab a tune, any tune, variety of tunes so you can learn soft sloshing, hard hitting, disco, Latin. Yes, I said disco. Disco like this, and this goes, and that one goes, well, these go that way. So again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. Come see me for all your lesson needs, all your BS debunking of musical instrument needs, and just general overall shenanigans. Okay? You guys be groovy and play loud. Alright? Rock and roll! More fucking cowbell. That's what we do, more fucking cowbell. Boy, you bloody wankers.